Are you ready to eat
I'm
crow
not
on Dak Prescott?
apologizing about Dak, dude. I'm not doing it.
Wow.
I'm not.
The arrogance it takes to not acknowledge the greatness of Dak Prescott last night.
He had a nice game, bro. He had a nice game. Buddy did his job. I'm not handing out golden stickers today.
Why?
Dude did his job, okay?
He did his job. He single-handedly did. He can't kick the football, but other than that, he single-handedly carried the Dallas Cowboys to a win last night.
Right.
Dak MFing Prescott.
Right.
And you sat up on this very show yesterday
and
you downplayed his awesomeness. Mm-hmm. To which I told you were correct. Mm-hmm. And yet you will not sit here and apologize.
And that's how I look at it.
I refuse.
Okay.
I refuse. No. Nope.
Well,
nope.
you know what?
Nope.
I just want you to understand. I want you to understand that I'm thrilled for Dak Prescott this morning. I am not a Cowboys fan. I am a fan of the beloved, the almighty, the Chicago Bears.
What, you don't want to circumcise some skeeters?
No, man. I do want some McGriddles with salt, but I am really happy for Dak Prescott this morning. In all seriousness, that performance last night was nothing short of scintillating. It did not start well, 2 3-and-outs in a row, and then he just came out and exploded on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
He outplayed Tom Brady something fierce, and I feel like this was a bit of redemption. How are you not happy this morning for Dak Prescott?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming off of last week's performance, you have to be thrilled, and I think a lot of us, including myself, I will, in all seriousness, say, yeah. I mean, I was not expecting some 5-touchdown crazy performance out of Dak and the Cowboys. I had my concerns based on last week's performance, but we also talked all about, last week we talked all about how, hey, like against Washington, they played down to Washington. There wasn't a lot to play for type deal. And I disagreed with that. I felt like they did have a lot to play for, but clearly they didn't feel that way. And so they played down to Washington and they showed up here. And so, I think the challenge for Dallas is that it's not good enough until you kind of get over that hump. And that, to me, is what I feel like we have to figure out. What is the line for Dallas? Is it a Super Bowl appearance? Is it just simply the NFC Championship game? Like, that's what I think for Dak is kind of tough, because this was a great performance. This was everything that you would want. Beating Tom Brady, like getting that road playoff win, first one since, what was it, like 92 or whatever it is, so you did great things last night. It's just a matter of, what defines a great season if you don't win the Super Bowl? That, I think, is the question.
Well, and I mean, obviously the bigger story here is Tom Brady's future, and I think we all know Dallas is going to Santa Clara to run into the buzzsaw that's the 49ers, but my God, I think it's awfully hard to get away from the fact that Dak Prescott probably played his best game as a pro last night.
Yeah.
Because it was in the playoffs is why I say that. But, on the flip side of that, you also have Tom Terrific, that is probably done. The greatest professional athlete, in my opinion, we've ever seen, should retire. I am, if you listen to the show, I am the guy that always says, don't tell another man when to retire.
Okay.
Tom Brady needs to retire. You feel like, that tripping thing last night, I don't know how many people saw that. He slid and tried to trip a guy that had intercepted a ball. Like, this is just not who Tommy has ever been.
Right.
And I think this is not Willie Mays tripping all over himself in center field. This is not Tom Brady being a shadow of himself. This is Tom Brady telling us that he can no longer single-handedly carry a team to a win, to a Super Bowl championship like he did in New England. And I think, if you go to, most people think, Las Vegas is a destination. If he goes to Las Vegas, they're not better, in my opinion, than Tampa is this year. And they don't have the defense that Tampa has. They may have more offensive weapons. I mean, Darren Waller and Adams alone are two unbelievable talents. But I just don't know. I don't buy into Tom Brady taking the Raiders to a Super Bowl. I genuinely hope he retires.
Yeah, I think it's tough because I don't exactly feel like he's got some plethora of weapons in Tampa. Like, obviously, the big story heading into this game was Jensen, his center coming back, and everyone felt like, hey, that was going to be a big deal, and that was really going to, help them with protection and giving him time. And I didn't really feel like that was necessarily the case. I didn't really feel like Tom had all day to throw last night. Like, there were some times where he had time.
Hey, it might not have been the case, but it also wasn't the issue.
Yeah,
the interception he threw in the end zone.
Yeah.
That interception in the end zone was a guy who didn't have enough arm to get it out of the back of the end zone. Because I'm in the camp that believes Tommy was trying to throw that ball away.
Yeah, he was.
And I don't think Tommy had the jizzy to get it out of bounds.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah, that was good. But I don't know that I agree with that.
But I also think the divorce, his family situation, like, you can't tell me that didn't take a toll on him.
Yeah.
Maybe not last night, but on this season that has been such a lost season. He'd never had a losing season in his life until this year. I don't know. I just don't want to see Tom Brady become that afterthought of a quarterback that we too often in the NFL, we see guys that completely fall apart. This isn't Kirk Cousins. This isn't, the mediocre quarterback. This is the greatest professional athlete in the history of sport. And I am in appreciation of him this morning. I sit here in appreciation. I have a unique perspective because I think I've worked in sports for so long. I appreciated Michael Jordan's final quality years. I appreciate what LeBron James is doing right now. 48 points last night. I appreciate who Tommy has been, but it's time for Tom Brady to go work at Fox. In my opinion, I don't know. I'd love to see it in the comments. What do you guys think? And again, I want to open up the floor to you, Jake. Let me single you up. I want to open up the floor to you, and just give you the opportunity to, take a step back from the stupidity that defines your opinions on Dak Prescott. And
the fucking donkey.
Yeah, the raging anger and seemingly just spewing of stupidity that has happened on this show from your microphone on a regular basis.
Right. I mean, I don't even know what I have to pay for these days. I don't even know what's free or not free. So I am an idiot. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah. I mean, but go ahead. No, the camera's still focused on you.
Right.
Go ahead in this time. Go ahead and just unload your heartfelt apology to Dak Prescott. Just unload it on him.
I don't have some heartfelt apology. Dude came out and did his job. That's my take.
Guy, he was 25 of 33, 305, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, it's about time, dude. It's about time.
He won the game.
It's about time.
He won the game for Jera.
It's about time.
He won the game single-handedly for the Dallas Cowboys, and you don't want to admit you were wrong.
I got the prediction wrong. I thought Tampa would win.
No, I'm not talking about. I thought Tampa would win. I'm talking about Dak Prescott.
What did I say about Dak Prescott?
That he sucked and he shouldn't be in the NFL.
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't say that, but you downplayed him.
Yeah, I said this is a high leverage game for Dak. If I don't want to hear what I said was, if I remember correctly, is I said yesterday that I don't want to hear, like, if Dak were to throw 3 interceptions last night, I don't want to hear about, it went off his receiver's hands and it's not Dak's fault and this isn't all on Dak. Like, Dak Prescott is regarded as one of the best in the league, and we're sitting here talking about interceptions. I don't care if they went off dude's hand or not. They're interceptions. They are. He has more interceptions this year than he should have. And so last night was a big game for him.
How many
and
did he
took
throw
advantage.
last night?
He didn't throw any. It's about time. It's about time that offense did what they were supposed to be doing all year long. Like, this offense should be capable of hanging with the best in the league. Like, so that's what I'm saying. This is what the Cowboys should be. I'm not sitting here saying the guy had some all-world performance. Like, he had a nice night. He did. He deserves credit for that. They won a road playoff game. That's not an easy thing to do. But let's not overreact and say that Dak had some ridiculous performance, because he didn't. The truth is, this is who this guy should be on a week-in and week-out basis. That's the reality of the situation.
And I just think the NFL is a very difficult sport to be elite in. And it's why I think that Tom Brady is the single greatest professional athlete ever. I mean, he's not a guy that is physically gifted. He's not a guy that he didn't even start on his high school team. He was 7th at quarterback. Like, I mean, this is a guy who just has done everything the right way and outworked his talent. And, I'm big into this thing right now about, hey, what happens, when you get to the end of the rope of your talent, you have to be mentally stronger. And Tom Brady's one of the most mentally tough athletes that's ever done it. And I give the guy credit. He is outperformed his talent, and he is the single greatest professional athlete ever because of it. But I look at Dak Prescott. It would have been easy for him to come out and fold last night. It would have been easy for him to get cut by the Cowboys. It would have been easy for Mike McCarthy to get fired, but none of that happened. And I think at some point we have to give teams like the Dallas Cowboys credit for actually, living up to expectations, because they were favored by the boys in Vegas. And I think a lot of people, wanted to see them win that game. And when people are rooting and counting on you to fail, to come out and perform the way that Dak Prescott performed last night, I think is nothing short of spectacular. And I thought that this was Dak's finest hour as a starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I thought it was absolutely a pivotal win. I don't care if they go to San Francisco and lose. Dak Prescott last night cemented himself as the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Can't say the same thing for Zeke. Can't say the same thing for Mike McCarthy. Dak Prescott is, in my opinion, the face of the Dallas Cowboys because of that performance last night. And again, I think it would have been easy for him to collapse. That's the thing. It's easy to collapse.
I mean, if they had collapsed, like we would have all been talking about, hey, this is what the Cowboys do. We're not surprised. This is what they've done it feels like every year. We're always talking about, hey, the Cowboys had Super Bowl aspirations and they're out in the wild card round.
And I think after the game, Micah Parsons made a really good point. The criticism of Dak Prescott is unwarranted and way over the top. But I got news for you. He's the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Would you have it any other way? Would you have it any other way? I would not if I were Dak Prescott. I would not if I were Jared. The bar should be incredibly high. And it is. And he met that bar last night. Kyle J says, Dak Prescott fed you both a crow sandwich. I mean, I guess I actually want the credit I am deserved, which is to say that I told you Dak Prescott was going to come out and perform. I thought Tampa would win. I thought they would win, and they did not. They looked terrible. They looked absolutely terrible. What's up, MY Monty fan? Good to see you. Jeremy Bolton, good morning to you. The mayor of Monty Town is here. Gage Carter said, morning, dudes. Monty, I tried the cold shower thing. Best I could do was 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty standard procedures for you, huh?
Well, easy. Tomorrow, you know what, Gage Carter? Tomorrow when you get in that cold shower. And again, real quick, if you don't know what we're talking about, I've really gotten into the cold shower thing. I made it a full minute today, which is a huge step up. All I'm asking you to do is get in the shower, take your nice hot shower. The last 60 seconds, make the water as cold as possible. Stand there and take it. Stand there and enjoy the suck, because it sucks. But boy, it changes you. And I love it. I made it 60 seconds today, and I'm really proud of myself. So, Gage Carter, tomorrow, make it 11 seconds.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. Lopes fan Gabe, what's up? Good morning to see you. He says, morning casuals, hit the like button. Amen to that. Jeremy Bolton says, my 97-year-old immobile grandma has one good NFL game now and then. Wow. The hate on Dak is real. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're different on this somehow. They deserve credit for a good performance last night. That was a good performance.
No, it was not a good performance. It was a dominant performance. It was a dominant outside of the kicker. It was you got the performances you needed. When you have a playoff game on a Monday night like this, your stars have to show out. Micah Parsons absolutely dominated. Dak Prescott absolutely dominated. They played, and this is probably the high watermark for them, right? Let's be honest. Again, they're not going to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers to win. I have to believe they're going to be a significant underdog by the time we get to Wednesday or Thursday. And by the way, great job by the NFL scheduling a playoff game on a Monday to give the Cowboys a short week. Congratulations. My point is, I think they dominated that game. The Tampa Bay Bucks were never in danger of winning that game.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys dominated. And I think they deserve credit for that. Honestly, I am no Cowboy fan. I am no Jarrah fan. They deserve credit for dominating last night. Kurt Meyer says, morning, Monty Tribe. Tommy got jizzied. Okay. Dallin Sproul, good morning to you. He says, still a sad moment on the football field. Too many of these moments on the football field. Are you talking about the injury at the end of the game? I think you might be. Jeremy said, I don't think Tommy is the greatest athlete in the history of sports. He has probably been the most dominant, but Tom Brady has 10th the athleticism of MJ, Tiger Woods, Alex Caruso, or Taysom. But you understand that's what makes him so great. And I was saying this a minute ago. He's not the most talented. He is not the most athletic. He is not the most gifted. But talented and gifted do not equal success. Okay, listen, hard work, dedication, professionalism are far more important than talent. Because the old saying, what is the talent without work ethic or whatever the saying is.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Every single time. And Tom Brady, another thing that I've really been digging into lately is what happens when you outlast your talent. When you get to a point in your chosen endeavor when your talent cannot take you further. How do you get further? Tom Brady has been a tremendous example of what mental toughness and hard work will do when your talent isn't good enough to get you to where you need to go. Mm-hmm. It's just not enough. His talent isn't why he's got, 7 championships. That's not why he's the winningest quarterback in the history of the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's not why I call him the most successful professional athlete ever. The best professional athlete ever is because he didn't rely on his talent. He relied on toughness, mental toughness, physical toughness, and he relied on work ethic. That's why he's the best professional athlete ever, in my opinion. Cody Strickland said, why are my comments disappearing? I have no idea. Cody, I have no idea. Because I love the conspiracy guy. Why are you guys deleting my comments? Nobody's deleting your comments, bro. MY Monty fan says, Dak must have been tuning into the show and heard Jake's smack talk. Man came out ready to ball and take out old man Tommy.
Yeah, he had a nice night.
Mrs.
Sure.
Monty loves that you guys spell out Tommy.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny, too.
Yeah.
Mapes, what's up? Mike Maple says Jake wasn't alive the last time Dallas won a road playoff game.
Nope.
Well, because has it ever happened? It feels like the 70s.
Yeah.
Right? Come on now. Kurt says, in that 20-year-old brunette running around in the skybox, Jerry's wife or a concubine? You just asked about Jerry's concubine. Okay. Give credit to Dak and the Cowboys. Jake will never do that.
I've said they had a good game, dude.
Never.
I guess I'm just different on it. Like, what do we always hear? This is what I don't like. What do I always hear about the Cowboys? They're this great team. Dak's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's just having a bad year. And then they come out and they do that. And then everyone wants to say, oh, well, they had some amazing performance. But wait, I thought they were the best team in the league. Isn't this what they're supposed to do? That's what I think is funny. Like, yes, they played well last night. They dominated that game. You do have Micah Parsons. You do have Zeke. You do have all these guys, right? Like, you do have Dak. That's where I kind of come back to the middle, though, right? Yeah. Like, I just feel like this is what we do with the Cowboys. So then when they're on a short week against the 49ers, okay, you win that game. Now I'm going to start changing my tune and saying, okay, now you're outperforming what I thought you could do. Now we're in a place where you're exceeding expectations.
You picked Tampa to win that game.
Yeah, I did.
So then what do you mean he didn't outperform expectations?
I'm saying on the season, like generally what you would expect out of the Cowboys.
I expect the Cowboys to get to the playoffs and contend for a Super Bowl every year. That should be the bar for them. They've made the playoffs. They're contending for a Super Bowl. I think we have this skewed idea of what the Dallas Cowboys are. I don't think that anybody believes that Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL. But what most people will tell you is they're not good enough. They're going to choke. They're going to lose. It's Jarrah. Dak sucks. So that's, I think, what 7 out of 10 NFL fans will tell you about the Dallas Cowboys. Last night, they outperformed the expectation. There's no question. I don't understand why it's so hard for people to say the Cowboys came out and dominated Tampa and outperformed expectations. Why is that so difficult? They outside of Brett Maher, the kicker, they dominated Tampa last night. In Tampa, on grass, on the road. They dominated. Why can't we say that? I don't know. And I think, a lot of it is I think people hate Jerry Jones. And I think people will never pay respect to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be really clear. I don't really care for Jerry Jones. It's not I hate the guy, but I mean, I think I just don't. It just is what it is. He's the owner of the Cowboys. Like, he just exists. Like, it's not like I'm saying, hey, I'm never going to say something nice. Like, I feel like I've said like 3 or 4 nice things about the Cowboys this morning, and that's not being.
But
like,
I feel like you won't say they came out, they dominated, and they outperformed expectations.
They didn't outperform my expectation. Then maybe my expectation is different, dude.
Your expectation last night was that Tampa would win.
Yeah, and I've said I got the game wrong.
Right. So, but maybe we're just on different pages today. Your expectation last night was that Tampa would win. You just said Dallas didn't outperform my expectations.
No, I didn't say my expectation. I'm saying expectations in general. What was I just explaining? Hey, they're great. They're supposed to be this great team. They're supposed to be, this team that contends for a Super Bowl, and that's supposed to be the benchmark.
Okay.
Right? And then we want to say, well, they dominated and they had this great game and they torched Tampa.
They did.
So you can't have it both ways though. Like you being the proverbial you, not necessarily like you yourself. Like you can't say, oh, this is a great team, and then we celebrate and say, oh my God, what an amazing game.
I don't think nobody is saying the Dallas. Let's get this right. Let's stop disrespecting the Dallas Cowboys. Let's pay them their proper level of respect. Nobody said the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL. Nobody has said that. They came out last night and kicked the crap out of Tampa, and we need to recognize that. You can't hate somebody so much that you're unwilling to recognize their performance. You can't hate somebody so much. This is the Nick Saban thing I always tell you about. You don't have to like Nick Saban. Please feel free to hate him, but you will respect him. You will respect him. You don't have to like the Dallas Cowboys. They earned your respect last night. You don't have to like Dak Prescott. He earned your respect last night. You don't have to like Micah Parsons. He earned your respect last night. The Dallas Cowboys throttled Tampa on the road in the playoffs. They have my respect. They have my respect. And if they don't have yours, that's a little surprising. If they don't have yours, you're just being a hater. Plain and simple. Cody Strickland says, I think Michael Phelps is the Top Gun. So Michael Phelps, a swimmer who doesn't face the adversity that Tom Brady does, who's played a quarter century in the NFL, and he's 4,900 years old or whatever. What is he, 43, I guess, or whatever Tom Brady is. Michael Phelps, the swimmer who doesn't get hit by anybody, is a far better athlete, who, by the way, was popped out of the womb, built like a swimmer. He just, he's a better athlete. Get out of here. Michael Phelps. Maybe we should delete your comments. Giggity says, good morning, fellas. Dak looked good last night against a sub-500 team. Good luck next week. Hey, again.
But he can only play who's in front of him. I don't think that, they are a sub-500 team, but they're in the playoffs. He can only play who's in front of him. Look, the difference is that we just view the Cowboys differently. Mm-hmm. We just view them differently. Like, I'm not a hater of the Cowboys. I'm not.
I am.
Well, okay.
I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like Jerry Jones.
But you're on this train this morning about giving them their credit, and I feel like I've given them their credit. I've said 3 times they dominated this team last night. The difference is I'm not willing to sit here and say that that's like, whatever you want to say, like a special performance or
Dak Prescott. I have no problem saying that Dak Prescott put up a special performance last night after what happened last weekend. And whatever that was to end the season, to go 305, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and be rated 143? Yeah, I'm going to say that's a complete flip. And by the way, I would also remind you, he was 0 of 6 on the, I believe he was 0 of 6 to start the game. Yeah, they did a great job
bouncing back. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I'm giving Dak Prescott his due. That was a great performance last night. Jeremy Bolton says, 10 years ago, my wife chased Tommy around on the Bugs Life bumper cars at Disneyland. I was in the bathroom with my second child and missed it. Yeah, I bet about 9 months after that incident, you had your third child, didn't you? Richard McDonald said, good morning, gents. Call your moms today, guys. Smash the like button. Exactly right. Please go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Always appreciate that. NY Monty fan says, Jake, eat some crow. Don't be like Sarah Sweeney Todd. Jake never eats crow. He's never wrong about anything. Just ask him.
Okay, dude, that's not true. I just said that I got the game wrong. Did I not just say that?
No, I didn't. I don't remember that. Go ahead and say it again, will you?
Yeah, I got the game wrong. I never get anything right.
Exactly right. Tanner says, Jake, stop making excuses. Just take the L.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not taking some. I'm not going to sit here and give Dak a beach, dude. Like
a beach.
Like this is the reality. It is. Giggity's right. But he can only play who's in front of him. And this is why I'm saying, like, I didn't realize we were so different on this. Yeah, he had a great night last night. Do it against a great team. He can only play who's in front of him, right? But that's why I say you go and beat the 49ers, then I'll be here slurping Dak Prescott till the end of my days.
I actually kind of agree with Jake. Like, yeah, they played a good game. Like, do we want to give them a cookie because they did their job? Just saying. Gage, okay. Okay, that's fine. NY Monty or Jeremy Bolton says, NY Monty fan, she had been rubbing it in my face ever since I sacked a diaper full of poo while she got the bull rush TB12. I love it. NY Monty fan says, Monty, you're 100% correct. We all hate Gerald Jones. That is true. That is the true reason. Yeah, I think we just hate. We love to do that in sports. We like to be haters and we like to not pay people respect. I'm a big believer in paying people respect. I hate what team do I hate the most in all of
Packers?
Sports? Well, I'll never pay the Packers respect. But that's my point, right? Like, I hate the Green Bay Packers. I don't, but I think I've been very blunt about who Aaron Rodgers has been. The guy's been an underachiever his entire career, right? But if you, who can I actually say I hate and pay respect to? Manchester City. I hate Manchester City. No, I don't respect them either. Kurt Myers says a 5-minute hot shower because the same old body stimulation as a 30-minute run. Okay,
great.
I'm not saying to take a full cold shower. Never said that. Trumont, the reason why many people can't say Dallas dominated because everyone hates Dallas. I hate them too, but I can't deny the fact that they balled out last night. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Marsing Outdoors. Hello. Cowboys are like the Lakers. Everyone keeps talking about them as if they are championship contenders every year because of a terrible owner that micromanages everything.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers are very much the same. It's very much the same. Very much the same. Let's see. Who else? Kurt Meyer says, NY, yes, look it up. Man, it raises the heart rate, etc. Yeah, warm showers are great. Warm showers are great. Let's see. Byron Leftwich fired. Racist. Did they fire Byron Leftwich?
They did?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I will look and see. No, I don't see that they fired Byron Leftwich. I would be surprised by that. Byron Leftwich and Tom Brady had
expected to fire Leftwich.
Oh,
they
is
have
that right?
not done it yet.
Well, if they fire Leftwich, I'm going to guess that Tom Brady won't be back because I know those two had a very close relationship. Monty, you give respect to the Packers. Is Rex Grossman played on that team? Rex Grossman's terrible and awful, and I would applaud Rexy coming out of retirement. That would be amazing. So your thoughts on the NFL? By the way, what would you today? What would you put the number at for the Cowboys and the 49ers? That game is Sunday at 4:30.
I mean, that feels like initially you're like, oh, well, Niners defense, right? Niners defense, they're going to make it tough. But there's a big part of me that feels like a lot of the NFL is who's playing good football and who's hot. So, part of me feels like, hey, like the Cowboys will go in there and I could see them putting up 27, 30 points and being a problem for that defense. I mean, you're like the thing last night that Dak deserves credit for is being able to control safeties, to throw his guys open, being able to manipulate the defense, to create space for tight ends and receivers in different situations. So when he has that ability and he's playing well, yeah, I think that the over-under on a Cowboys-Niner game would probably be somewhere in the 50s. I would think that's in the 20s, low 30s. I would guess. That's what I would expect. Like, again, see, this is the problem though. This is what I always run into. So today, now they play some great game last night, and today I'm going to say, oh, well, now if they're going to play this way against the Niners, I would expect this, and then they're going to come out and play like crap. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem. That's the difficulty with the Cowboys. So if the Cowboys team from last night shows up against the 49ers, I would expect an over-under somewhere in the 50s. That's what I would expect.
Well, the boys in Vegas disagree with you. The boys in Vegas have a consensus number of San Francisco -4, and the over in the game is 46. Now, I would agree these are two of the better defenses. I think the 49ers are the best defense in football. But I think Dallas showed they could perform. Again, what is Christian McCaffrey going to do in this game?
Mm-hmm.
Because Brock Purdy's not going to beat the Dallas Cowboys on his own. He's going to need significant help. They're going to have to win the middle of the field. And my guess is that CMC is going to have a huge game. And Friday, when we deliver our picks on that game, my guess is I'll be on the 49ers side of that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not kid ourselves. That 49er defense is good. So,
yeah.
And you look at the way that they finished this year. I mean, the Raiders game was a little crazy on New Year's Day, but they dominated Arizona and Seattle, two pretty crappy football teams you would expect them to. But there's something to be said for the way that Dallas went to Tampa on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to be said for that. I would agree with that. But we'll see. I don't know. Mr. Preston, good morning. Cowboys are going to choke on the 49ers D.
Okay.
See what he did there?
Okay.
See what the 49ers D. He means their defense.
Right.
He means their defense.
Right.
Boyd Lake, good morning to you, sir. Where you been? The Bucs just don't have an O-line that can stop anyone, much like the Jets.